Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Florida braces for Hurricane Irma. I'm Meg Oliver in Miami. I'll have the latest on the catastrophic storm coming up.
And there are new evacuation orders for Montana residents threatened by wildfires, and teams are bracing for fires to grow even more. Coming up, where there are new dangers in Montana's appeal to Washington.
Good morning, 6:30 on this Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Our top story as Hurricane Irma continues to weave its way through the Caribbean. The islands left in its wake are reporting devastating destruction.
That's right. There's now at least 8 deaths being blamed on the storm. CBS's Meg Oliver is in Miami, where even those who are used to hurricanes are taking this one very seriously.
Hurricane Irma skirted by Puerto Rico. The island dodged the eye of the storm, but Irma still left much of the island in the dark. Officials there say nearly 1 million people have no power. Around 50,000 don't have water. On St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, neighborhoods are underwater. This car sits on top of a utility pole, and lush trees now litter the street. Barbuda, one of the first Caribbean islands where Irma made landfall, took a major hit. The Prime Minister says nearly every building was damaged by the storm.
What I saw was heart-wrenching. I mean, absolutely devastating.
The storm, which still has sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, is heading to the Bahamas on its way towards Florida. Here in Miami, mandatory evacuations are underway for high-risk areas along the coast. For everyone else, it's being strongly suggested to get out of Irma's way as quickly as possible.
Is life-threatening. This is not a storm you can sit and wait through.
Residents heeding that advice, though, are sitting and waiting in long lines at gas stations, oftentimes to find the pumps have run dry.
I've passed 2 gas stations on the way to get here that were both empty.
For those looking to evacuate by air, American Airlines says it will wind down operations on Friday afternoon in southern Florida before completely canceling flights throughout the weekend. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Miami.
Now, Florida is far from the only state that could feel Irma's devastating effects. Parts of Georgia and the Carolinas are also preparing for the storm. Irma could be one of the most costly storms in U.S. history. Wow.
Phenomenal, considering we're just still dealing with the aftermaths of Harvey, Jose behind, Katia out there in the Gulf of Mexico. It's just a phenomenal time right now.
The latest numbers on Irma right now, 180 mile-an-hour sustained winds, and that's, as you had mentioned earlier, after making landfall going over land. Of course, the warm ocean waters are what really drive these storms. Basically, the track taking it straight toward Florida as you head into your Sunday morning. So of course this will be major headlines through the weekend. Temperatures are okay this morning. Air quality has seen a bit of improvement into the early part of the day. I don't expect that to last. Right now most areas into the 40s, 30s in West Yellowstone are daytime highs today. Warming up pretty quickly, mid to upper 80s for most of us. Again, smoky skies to start the day. We'll have that for some time to in the future. We'll talk more about that, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up on 6:34 here on your Thursday morning, Montana's 2 U.S. senators spoke on the Senate floor yesterday in Washington about wildfires burning across the state and disaster aid. But they had 2 very different messages. Republican Senator Steve Daines said preventing wildfires is impossible. But he said that poor forest management has led to more widespread fires in Montana. He urged Congress to take the steps to stop frivolous lawsuits that he says prevent logging and other prudent management of forest lands. Now, Democratic Senator John Tester said that Congress is ignoring climate change, which is leading to historic drought and severe fires in Montana and elsewhere in the West. He also said as Congress approves aid for victims of Hurricane Harvey in Texas, it shouldn't forget to aid Montanans and others affected by widespread fires this year.
Speak on behalf of all of Montana. We are tired of being told that others know better than we do while we watch our forests burn every summer, our mills close, our neighbors lose jobs, and our communities suffer from the lack of management of our federal lands.
But I am confident we can work together to ensure the victims of Harvey get the relief that they need And the states that are burning and impacted by drought, like Montana, have the resources that they need to protect our citizens, our economy, and our way of life.
Now, so far, Congress has taken no action on any aid package or any steps to help states impacted by those forest fires.
As you might expect, all resources available are needed to fight the multiple fires burning around the Treasure State. Locally, Central Valley Fire in Belgrade is preparing to help out. Fire department signed up to aid firefighting efforts through the Department of Natural Resources and Conservation. Members are on standby right now, but once called, they will have a 12-hour window to respond.
Wildland fire season is a unique challenge for all of us. We have to be able to contribute to the overall firefighting need, because if we have a large incident, we expect others come and help us. So it's our responsibility to contribute where we can.
Central Valley says it has the ability to send out firefighters as well as 3 fire trucks to assist with the wildfires. The department says that will still leave enough equipment and people to respond to any local emergency.
Seeley Lake waters have reopened to all recreational activities as of noon yesterday. The lake was under a temporary emergency closure as helicopters and planes used the water to fight the Rice Ridge fire. The fires burned almost 120,000 acres, and it's barely touched on containment at just 2%. Almost 700 people are now working on that fire.
Also, authorities fighting the Alice Creek fire say they're facing tough terrain and worsening weather. They're reminding people living near the fire to stay alert. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has the latest on this fire from Augusta.
Fire crews have set up their command post here in Augusta, but they are fighting the fire over a widespread area. Most of the activity is currently on the fire's southern edge. Authorities say the terrain is dangerous for firefighters, with steep slopes and a number of standing dead trees. That means they're mostly attacking the fire indirectly, building bulldozer lines so crews can get closer safely. About 90 homes are still under evacuation orders, including the Elk Meadows subdivision and along Highway 200 between mile markers 93 and 97. On Wednesday morning, the Sheriff's Office issued an alert reminding residents to heed the evacuation and warning the conditions are getting worse. The Alice Creek Road area is only on a pre-evacuation notice, but authorities are urging people to stay out if they can.
There is still heavy equipment and lots of firefighters working in there. It makes it easier for them to not have people in there, and it keeps everybody safe, and that's our primary goal.
Authorities say they're expecting weather conditions to become even more difficult over the next few days. They're preparing for more fire activity as we go into the weekend. In Augusta, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Staying on topic, the Caribou Fire, burning 18 miles northwest of Eureka, holds steady at nearly 20,000 acres. It's still the #1 priority fire in the nation after the West Kootenay region lost 40 structures to the fire last Friday night. All residents north of Tule Lake are still under mandatory evacuation, while those south of the lake are under pre-evacuation orders.
Now, smoke is a terrible consequence of wildfires burning for air quality, but there can be a benefit. It can dampen the effect of fire behavior. That's the case with the Sprague fire around Glacier National Park. It did not grow in size the past 2 days because smoke and high pressure resulted in stable conditions and light winds. The Sprague is over 1/3 contained, burned more than 13,000 acres. Area residents and park visitors were evacuated on Sunday. Evacuation order remains in effect for some areas. Now, most parts of Glacier Park do, however, remain open.
And significant change in weather in the past couple of days gave firefighters a chance to reassess and reset sprinkler systems on the Myers fire. There are updated closure orders for the Beaverhead, Deer Lodge National Forest, and evacuation orders and warnings for the fire southwest of Phillipsburg. We have those on our Fire Watch page on kbzk.com as well as kxlf.com. 345 people are working on the Myers fire that's burned more than 56,000 acres.
Shifting topics for a minute, an 18-mile stretch of the Big Hole River will close entirely to fishing effective today. Fishing will be prohibited all day, every day from the Notch Bottom Fishing Access Site to the river's confluence with the Beaverhead River. This mandatory closure is in accordance with the Big Hole Watershed Committee drought plan, which calls for full fishing closures when flows have fallen below 100 cubic feet per second. This section of the Big Hole River hit that trigger for a closure this week. Section of river will reopen when flows average above 200 cubic feet per second for 7 consecutive days.
And a Butte man faces back-to-back driving under the influence charges after police arrested him twice in the span of just a few hours in connection with driving drunk. Butte police first arrested 36-year-old Tony Sullivan on suspicion of driving drunk just after 10 o'clock on Tuesday evening in the area of Idaho and Silver Streets. He bonded out of jail just before midnight and was arrested again at about 4:30 Wednesday morning for allegedly driving drunk in the 2000 block of Grand Avenue.
He chose to bond out of jail using a bail bondsman. And then he decided to, I'm assuming, walk over to his car and where it was stopped when we picked him up the first time and get into it and drive it again.
Now, Sullivan remains in jail on 2 aggravated DUI charges for allegedly having blood alcohol level that was more than twice the legal limit on both arrests.
Sorry. That's just a crazy story right there. I'm sorry.
You got to stay with us. Coming up next on Montana This Morning, the Florida Keys prepare for the worst as Hurricane Irma tears up the Caribbean.
But first, let's check in with Charlie Rose for a look at what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're in Puerto Rico with the massive destruction already caused by Hurricane Irma. We're also in Florida with the huge evacuation effort. And this, the first extensive interview with Steve Bannon since he left the White House. We will preview our 60 Minutes conversation. See you at 7.